internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
you still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right in today's video. July 9th, 2025, a major bombshell has been dropped. A major bombshell has been dropped. Ripple just announced that BNY Mellon, the world's largest custodian bank, will custody their reserves for Ripple's new stablecoin RLUSD. And trust me, this isn't just about a stablecoin. This is the smoking gun that connects everything back to XRP. And I'm going to show you why. And I also talked about it. Back on January 21st, 2024, saying Ripple and BNY Mellon are silently getting ready to scale USDC and XRP. It all makes perfect sense now. And now they're going to be scaling USDC, RLUSD. Wow. I mean, you heard it here first. Ripple, BNY Mellon working in silence. A lot of people said it was delusional. A lot of people said it was clickbait. But those individuals that are saying that are the smartest, stupid people on this planet. Right? So time will settle everything. But today was Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse's testimony, and here's a little clip of it.
Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Brad Garlinghouse. I'm the CEO of Ripple. Ripple has approximately 900 employees across our 15 offices worldwide.
Ripple Labs is based in San Francisco and employs a team of 95 men and women with experience in government and regulation.
Ripple has approximately 900 employees across our 15 offices worldwide.
It employs a team of 95 men.
Look how far we have come. Look how far we have come. And Ripple CEO also made a little appearance on CNBC, and I will play that to you in a moment as well. Now, Ripple is becoming a bank, working with banks, scaling banks. Oh my goodness, you have no idea what you're in for. And take advantage of this upside potential. XRP is getting ready to coil up, and we are going to pierce through $2.40 heavily within the next 24 hours. And if you haven't already taken advantage of the deposit bonuses on Bidunex and Toobit, the links are in the description down below. I'm utilizing both of these right now to place in my longs with low leverage, being safe here. If you deposit $2,000, you get a $400 deposit bonus. If you deposit $1,000, you get a $200 deposit bonus that you could be leverage trading with and practicing. We all got to start somewhere. I remember when I first started, $20, $10, $100 is what I started with. So let's start with the facts. Okay, let's start with the facts. Ripple announced that they're going to launch their RLUSD, and they're pitching it hard as an enterprise-grade stablecoin. Remember, I've said that Ripple has built a network of trust since inception? And I'll play this video at the end so you guys could see what was said here. Only 12,000 views. Only 12,000 views. Ripple USD is a trusted enterprise-grade stablecoin built with regulatory compliance, utility, and transparency at its core.
So in short, our proposals, I think, is a quite simple one. And that is that there be a independent enterprise. Now, it can be a quasi-governmental. There's certainly a role for strict standards and government role in this. But having been in the government, knowing how difficult it is to actually do technological innovation in government, being a representative of government that couldn't build a medical website, and after 3 tries eventually went to the private sector to get it done. This has really got to be built, if it's going to be built on time and it's got to be built with private sector involvement. But that entity would make those standard protocols available to the entire existing financial ecosystem. That entity would make those standard protocols available to the entire existing financial ecosystem.
Possibilities. Something is going to be the trust layer that lots of stuff gets built on that's programmable.
To banks, payment providers, and others, standard set of protocols.
Ripple is trying to be a payment rail for all the money that sits in between the banking system. And there'll be a new economy built on top of that.
The ability to enhance each other's understanding, the ability to connect the diverse economies, 200 or so countries in the world, and make sure the payment system works for all different profiles of companies.
My gut feeling is we're not going to know the winner for 3 to 5 years. I'm not positive it's going to be winner take all. The winner is going to be worth a whole lot of money because more and more of the world will get built on top of a trust protocol.
We need to make sure that the payments architecture has the right privacy protections so that people can trust using the system, because trust is really the essential linchpin of any payment system.
The world will get built on top of a trust protocol.
We need to make sure that the payments architecture has the right privacy protection.
It's going to be always around, and I believe will be our store of value for crypto, but it will not be the winner, certainly, for a whole bunch of reasons, and least of which is privacy.
Like, I was skeptical that XRP would have lasting power. The XRP army is real.
But here's the real bombshell that was said by Emily as well. How, as a primary custodian for RLUSD, we're proud to support the growth of digital assets by providing a platform designed to meet the evolving needs of institutions in the digital asset ecosystem. Do you understand that this is pretty much like RLUSD with JP Morgan, Wells Fargo? And that's going to happen. That's going to happen. But it's incredible how we knew this was coming from a million miles away. Let me say this again. BNY Mellon is going to custody Ripple stablecoin reserves. This is not a random crypto startup. BNY Mellon oversees more than 47 trillion in assets under custody and administration. And take a listen to this part. This is so cool because BNY Mellon, if you didn't know, they were founded in 1784, older than the U.S. Constitution itself, and older than the Treasury Department. And they don't attach their brand to just any crypto project. Do you understand me? This is a historic level of validation for Ripple. And it's not just validation for Ripple, it's validation for the entire XRP Ledger ecosystem. So let's talk RLUSD. Ripple has made it very clear. RLUSD does not replace XRP. And here's why for the ones that already don't know. Because RLUSD is a stable dollar-pegged asset designed for institutional use. It's perfect for tokenized asset markets, liquidity pools, and on and off ramps. It provides stability for institutions who want dollars on chain. But RLUSD is still just a dollar token. If a bank in the US wants to send RLUSD to Europe and settle instantly in euros, guess what? RLUSD can't do that alone. That's where XRP comes in. BNY Mellon is stepping into the digital asset space in a massive way. They're not just holding RLUSD in their vault. Their institution clients will demand cross-border payments, FX conversions, tokenized asset settlement across chain. And if you want to move RLUSD to euros, yen, peso instantly without pre-funded no-show accounts, you need a bridge asset. And that bridge asset is XRP. And some of you guys may sit there and wonder why I'm so certain about all this stuff and why I call it ahead of time, because I worked at the top 2 big banks for 10 years. I know how these guys operate. And I know when you're implementing a technology like this, it's going to take time, but they're going to tell you that they're going to do it. Why? Because 99% of the world's population does not give a damn about how the financial markets work, especially the plumbing of it. So they know not a lot of people are going to take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is the entire thesis of Ripple since day one. XRP provides liquidity between fiat pairs. It allows instant settlement between different currencies. It connects blockchains and tokenized economies. So imagine this. An institution client holds RLUSD at BNY Mellon. They want to pay a supplier in Europe. Instead of wiring dollars, waiting days, they will swap RLUSD for XRP and then XRP to euro instantly on chain. Boom. BNY Mellon doesn't want to run separate liquidity pools for every fiat pair. That's expensive and that's inefficient. And when they start using XRP as that universal bridge, guess what? Their problem just got solved. So while BNY Mellon is starting by custodying RLUSD, they're one step closer to utilizing XRP. And that is why when Brad Garlinghouse said, when the markets are mature enough, then we will flip the switch to on-demand liquidity. And I'm going to start wrapping this up. But here's the bigger picture. Ripple is now working hand in hand with one of the oldest and biggest banks on the planet. RLUSD gives institutions a regulated enterprise-grade stablecoin. BNY Mellon provides trust and security as custodian. And remember, Ripple is also a custodian. XRP becomes the settlement engine connecting RLUSD to the global financial system. This is the exact infrastructure that banks, asset managers, and these corporates have been waiting for. And guess what? All roads lead back to XRP. This is how Ripple wins, not just in technology, but on trust, compliance, and deep banking relationships that no other crypto projects can replicate. So yeah, this is crazy. We've been calling this for years, that Ripple would win big because of trust and they built in the traditional finance. And BNY Mellon stepping in is proof that Ripple isn't just surviving crypto. You know, they're building the rails for the next financial system. Please understand that. So remember, if you're holding XRP, you're not just holding XRP, you're holding the key piece of a puzzle. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. It's very important for me. I go in there and I read it. But at this point, there is zero room for any smart, stupid comment. Like zero. I mean, there's so much stuff that we have said in the past, so much that has all happened. And like I said, the $100 XRP is that last little thing that will shut everybody up. And in a moment, I'll play this video that I said about BNY Mellon and Ripple working together. Just listen very carefully. Only 12,000 views. Like I said, that's like no one in the world watches this or understands this. And folks, if you haven't already, I'm going to leave the link in the description down below, but we're going to closely wrap this up. The Mega Seafair in Miami. If we don't fill up the slots, we have 12 out of 330 for the Mega Seafair yacht party. We need to lock this in. I will be sending out emails again for the individuals that said previously that they were interested in this. If we don't lock this up, we're going to close it and we're going to do something completely off grid with our members that we have already involved in here. But folks, we all know XRP is going to go to an insane valuation next year. And if you guys want to come to this yacht party on the Mega Seafair, the $40 million yacht in Miami, June 11th, 2026, folks, it's going to be a hell of a time. The link is in the description down below. Emails will be going out as well. But if we don't fill these, you'll get an email from me on the next steps. So take a listen to this, what Brad Garlinghouse said today on CNBC. Very, very important, folks. We are living through history. And now listen to the video that was set back in 2024. And now we wait for a crazy move for XRP, folks. Crazy move for XRP is coming. I cannot stress this enough. I love you guys all. I couldn't have picked a better group of individuals to do this journey with. We'll be back with another video. Non-disclosure agreements are a real thing, and in today's video I'm going to show you exactly how one played out in the past with ISDA and Ripple. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This one is going to be a thriller. We are going to go through Susan Attlee, Sandy O'Connor, the FDIC, ISDA. This is huge. Take a look at this. Okay, are you ready to be mind blown? Nobody has covered this in a way that I'm about to right now. Rahul Advani. This is very important. Take a look at this date here. So he started at Ripple April 2021. He came from ISDA. and that is the International Swap Derivatives Association. They handle trillions of dollars, which we're going to get into in a moment. But when we go on to the announcement, this was announced 6 months ago, so in August, Ripple joins ISDA, enters 1.2 quadrillion derivatives market. So Rahul came over to Ripple on April 2021, and he is still working there. And on the ISDA website, listen to what they said here. Ripple's mission is to build breakthrough crypto solutions for a world without economic borders. Through blockchain technology, Ripple enables global financial institutions, businesses, governments, and developers to move, manage, and tokenize value, helping to unlock greater economic opportunity, enabling the world to move value like it moves information today. Are you ready for this? Look at who is the contact person for this. I can't believe this. It's your one and only Rahul Advani. Oh my goodness. This is such a facepalm moment here. The fact that Rahul comes on to Ripple and then so pretty much what happened here is this partnership was a non-disclosure agreement that probably took place. This is how organizations, high-level organizations like the bankers, this is how they move within new roles. They get somebody from ISDA over to Ripple, and then when they announce a partnership, you have a fully trained ISDA employee on your team. And when you go back and forth with them, it's just a very smooth run. This is how these organizations set up. And to the individuals on the other end that don't believe in XRP and that don't think it's going to go to $100, you guys are going to be proven wrong 100%. That is a fact. You're not stopping this train. What don't people understand? Why do you think Rahul is here wasting his time after he spent 5 years as ISDA? It gets even better. It gets even better. So here we have some numbers of the analysis of interest rate derivatives and credit derivatives trading. In the first half of 2023, it increased to $181 trillion in the first half alone, ladies and gentlemen. And we're just talking about derivatives, and derivatives exceed $1 quadrillion. And then now moving on to Susan Atley, the economics of technology professor at Stanford Graduate School of Business, recipient of the John Bates Clark Medal for the Best American Economist under the age 40 in 2007. And so here's the biggest argument that that's what I'm going to say. You could try having this argument because this individual, Susan Atley, is one of two, which was Robbie Mitchnick, that put down and created the fundamental framework. And they predicted XRP reaching $32.91. So you could go ahead and argue with Susan Atley, and this is for anybody that says XRP is never going to go to $10 or $20. You could go ahead and argue with Susan Atley. I'm sure you have been a recipient of the John Bates Clark Medal for the Best American Economist under the age of 40, or under the age of 20, or under the age of 30. Go ahead and have that argument. Tell them why XRP can't reach $10. And listen, Susan Atley is still here. Almost 11 years at Ripple. And listen to what she said here. I mean, she probably didn't update this for a very long time, but just take a look at how it all begun. Advisor to Ripple Labs starting in July 2013. Joined the board of directors April 2014. Ripple is an open source distributed payment protocol. It enables free and instant payments with no chargebacks and in any currency, including dollars, yen, euros, bitcoins, and even loyalty points. We're just scratching the surface with this video. And then we have Sandy O'Connor, right? Working at Ripple for 3 years and 2 months. And oh, look, she's also a board member of BNY Mellon. Let me just show you a little bit of a sneak peek of what's going on here. What are the odds that BNY Mellon chosen as a custodian for Circle stablecoin reserves? Folks, come on. BNY Mellon chosen as a custodian for Circle stablecoin reserves. Circle Internet Financial has selected BNY Mellon as primary custodian for its reserves of USDC, a stablecoin crypto whose value is directly pegged to the US dollar. And you guys already know USDC, Circle, Ripple, XRP, stablecoins. This is what's being silenced right now. And what are the odds, right, that we have Sandy O'Connor, board of directors at BNY Mellon. Circle is with BNY Mellon. She's also with Ripple. Do you see what's going on behind the scenes here? This is one of the biggest financial, pardon my language, biggest financial orgies of all time. And people are acting blind to this. But it's okay. They're going to be in for a rude awakening. Oh boy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But it's going to get better. Sandy O'Connor is, of course, a part of the Systemic Resolution Advisory Committee member at the FDIC, and she is still there almost coming up to 4 years now. And the FDIC is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Why would a Ripple employee be a part of this? Why would she be a member? Well,
the attribute of a healthy liquid market is really resilience, and that is getting at the ability for a market to recover from a significant systemic event. The ability for a market to recover from a significant systemic event. The ability for a market to recover from a significant systemic event.
Take a listen to what Martin Grunberg says here. He's the chairman at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Finally, there may be benefits associated with a payment stablecoin, especially to the extent that it fosters an inclusive real-time payment system. However, as I indicated, there are important risks and policy concerns that will need to be taken into consideration before a payment stablecoin system is developed. And to the extent that a payment stablecoin system is developed, it should be designed in a manner that complements the Federal Reserve's FedNow system and the potential future development of a U.S. central bank digital currency.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Ask yourself, Susan Attlee, Rahul, Sandy O'Connor, why are they at Ripple? Why are they at Ripple? And you cannot compare, and this is a fact, and you cannot argue this hands down. Let me make one thing very clear here. You cannot compare any other crypto company in Web3 that has the roster of Ripple. You cannot. Period. You cannot compare anybody to Ripple's roster and who they have on board. Who has the ex-CFO of Amazon? Like, I mean, this is just scratching the surface. Rosie Rios. Like, people, like I said, are going to be in for a rude awakening. Anybody calls XRP a shitcoin or a rug pull, I might have a heart attack of their stupidity. But I'm telling you, for none of you guys should lose sleep over thinking about XRP's future. You know what you hold. You've seen the connections on this channel. If you're new to my videos, go watch my previous videos. You got nothing to worry about. They're designing a framework around Ripple and how it's going to operate in the next financial system. Like, when it plays out, it's going to play out. And for everybody that's tuning in every single day, you guys are not crazy. I'm not crazy. No one is crazy in this community. There's a reason why you and I connect through the screen. There is a reason why you understand what I'm talking about. Only a handful will understand this information. The other handful they haven't come this far in this video. And until we hit double digits and then triple digits, we will continue on this journey. I'm not going anywhere. 2024 overall is going to be a very, very monumental moment for everybody in the XRP community, because this is our time, and this is the time where they just cannot stop it in terms of they're going full throttle. The agenda has come to a point where 2024, this is it. Even at Davos this year, you guys heard them. Everybody is bullish on 2024. Wait, should that mean we should be worried because everybody else is bullish? No, because even when we were reviewing the timeline from the FSB, everything was leading to 2024 and then 2025, and then major scaling up to 2027 to 2030. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and we'll be back with another video.
Just moments ago that it's partnering with BNY for BNY to be its primary custodian for its stablecoin. Joining us first on CNBC, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. You need a custodian for your stablecoin. Why BNY?
Well, look, I think as the crypto industry has emerged from kind of the last administration where the industry was being attacked, working with the most trusted, the most, well-regulated, and even the best capitalized partners is a way to continue to build trust in this system. And stablecoins at their core, by their nature, it's, a dollar backed with a dollar in deposits. BNY Mellon has, for a very long time been amongst the most trusted partners out there for as a custody bank. So we're really pleased. We think it's indicative of the shift of tide where we've had headwinds for this industry are now becoming tailwinds. And I think we're going to see a lot of growth. How many years it's been. But the BNY Mellon, we feel very lucky to be partnered with them. And we think, again, building trust for the whole industry and having RLUSD, our stablecoin, which just passed $500 million of market cap, we launched only about 6 months ago. So we're really pleased with that trend line and feel like this will only continue to build that trust.
It's small compared to some of your competitors, though, at this point. How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. Many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market, given our institutional background, given the fact that we've leaned into compliance and been very regulated. We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
You still want a banking license, right? Even though you have this deal with BNY.
Well, yes, is the short answer. We have pursued and requested application to apply for an OCC license as well as a Fed master account. We think that the key here for crypto and the kind of decentralized finance, as many people call it, Ripple has been building bridges between traditional finance and decentralized finance. The world isn't going to be taken over by crypto. Instead, we think about how do we take the best of what crypto brings in facilitating faster, cheaper transactions and bring it to traditional finance. That's been at the heart of what Ripple has been focused on from the beginning. This is a step towards that, and certainly getting an OCC license, for those that have said that the crypto world wants to be unregulated, whatever, the opposite is true.
They told us dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend. Ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute. Through the trials, through the pain. dupes they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute, where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute, to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. Value don't lie, and truth don't shake. Let the whole world break, we remake. Strategic reserve, written in stars. XRP gonna take us far. So here's to the signal, clear and bright. To the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight. Salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.